This is my year. I bought a hating man, I don't really care. This is my year. I bought it like that.
Dumelang Dumelang, it's your boy Kay Mahapa, Lesilo Rula Bafung, the Modern Day Easy Matjila, and we back in it like what? CassperVSPriddyUgly, we back in it like CassperVSPriddyUgly. So we guys, yo, it's been a minute since, you know, my SS, the ring light is on the pizza, guys. But it's been a minute, but I'm back, you know, I took a 2-week break, 1 week, who's counting? But and I haven't been gone for, you know, for no reason, guys. I've been gone because I've been working on a new exciting segment to the channel, and you know, I'm sure you guys are going to love it. You know, the subscribers of the channel are going to love my new idea. I've, you know, invested hours into it. You know, I've used up my connections that I've built, more YouTube, you know, to do this, you know, hours on YouTube to learn skills to do this new segment. So I'm really excited about it, and I'll appreciate it if you guys, you know, engage with it, share it with your friends, you know, watch it, comment, share with your friends, family, who else. But today it's not about the new segment. It's coming, you know, maybe give me 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 or 5. Who's counting, guys? But just know that I'm planning to drop it before the year ends. Guys, you know, the 100 shoot. That's how done the year is. But I'll drop it before the year ends, you know. So anyways, we're back in it. The Modern Day Easy Matjila is back to give you guys the weekly rundown. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. The veterans of the channel, of the channel, welcome back. If you haven't subscribed yet, if you're, you know, first time viewer or second time or third time, please do the right thing. Subscribe, but we're on the road to 10k. Please help us get to 10k. And without wasting any more time, guys, let's get into the thick of things. So first things first, it's been a minute, like I said, guys. It's been like 3 weeks since I did the last weekly rundown, so there's a lot. There, guys, we are making popcorn when I go to. So the first one, no, let me start with the oldest news that I have. It's old, like the person that I'm talking about, and then Mudim or Satana Mohopola, thank God, you know, Elizabeth's funeral, Queen Elizabeth's funeral, you know, or guys, you know, or I'm let me not lie. Let's not lie, guys. We were all thinking about it, you know. We were all saying, anytime now, Lisbeth can go. Like, you know, you know, death be not proud, like I said. No, death should be proud of this one. So Lisbeth is dead, and they buried her in London, and they invited African presidents, you know, or actually they invited all presidents, and then including African president, the president of the colonies. And they went, you know. They got there, and you know, they were all there with Cyril, you know, Buhari from Nigeria, you know, Botswana. President of Botswana, guys, probably Morena or whoever his name is. Ethiopia, Sudan, but I'm sure they didn't even go. I'm sure Ethiopia and South Africa, you know, my friend died saying this. So they were there, African presidents, and when they got there, they were given the kind of service that they give their citizens in the countries that they govern, you know. Baba Namelite Basia, city to city, like kids that are going to Gold Reef City or Pretoria Zoo, you know. And I felt very represented by that, you know. I was like, you know what, Cyril, today you feel like people from Hammanskraal, like people from Mokopane, you know, like people from Mokopane, you know, you feel underappreciated, undervalued, you feel undermined, you feel not taken seriously, you feel disrespected. You are a billionaire, like you are someone who's used to living in estates, you don't get load shedding where you stay. You have private cars, you know, blue light brigade, but today here you are, Katshwane bus, you know, city to city, you know, life like a greyhound dog. We are living a greyhound. I hope we're greyhound overtake, because you know that feeling of overtake, you know, like guys, or how long it is. Imagine overtake, just following the speed limit. I'm sure and that person is out there granting wishes and all that. So now I felt appreciated, and that's probably the only positive thing I felt about Lisbeth's funeral, you know, because like I'm not in the business of rating funerals, but that funeral was probably the worst funeral I've ever seen. You know, it was worse than the last funeral I attended, where they didn't even serve beetroot. Like, guys, if you're going to die and not budget for beetroot, like, please wake up or just serious, because you're not ready to die. If I want a beetroot, you're not ready to die. Come on, work hard. Budget beetroot. To make matters worse for us South Africans, Other presidents, I don't know what they did after the funeral, but Cyril Walena Matamela, he said that he's going to cut his trip short. He was on an overseas trip. I got a vacation or something, boys trip, who knows. But he cut his trip short to come back home immediately after the funeral because there was stage 6. There's been stage 6 before, and he did the same thing. That I was like, no, let me cut my trip short and go home. I don't know what I'm going to do there. It's not like I'm going to end it magically when I get there. No, let me just go home. That kind of thing. So he cut his trip short and immediately came home. And guys, I've been telling you that this guy is a white man. Cyril is a white man, guys. Any African, any black person knows that immediately after a funeral, you don't go home. You don't go straight home. No, you go to the funeral reception. You go wash your hands, to wash off senyama. I don't know, the dark energy. If you feel like you haven't washed off that senyama, properly. If you feel like there's still a dark cloud hanging over you, maybe you go to your ex's house and then you leave so that that spirit can, stop there and stay there. And then after you go home, or maybe like a normal person, you go to an after tears. But no, not Cyril. Cyril decided to come straight home, as if we don't have enough dark energy over us, as if we're not in the dark as things are. This man decided to bring the darkness of Queen Elizabeth, guys. Not just any queen, not Queen Moroka, not guys like Queen, not Queen Mojaji. No, the darkness of Queen Elizabeth, the queen of racism, of war, of discrimination, of terrorism. He brought all that energy here, guys. So when things go dark in this country, well, they already are dark. They already are dark. But when things get worse, when you get to my stage 10, when we get to my 50% unemployment, when you get to like unreal numbers of crime, when we get to, I don't know, when things get worse than they are right now, please know it's because of Cyril. And while we're still talking about the death of Elizabeth, and it was announced that the next in line ruler of the British monarch or monarchy or whatever man whenever it did go Britain, that successor of Elizabeth is Prince Charles, Prince Mengi. And he's going to be officially coronated on the 6th of May 2022. So between now and then is basically a probation period. It's still a apprenticeship, basically. They still want to see what fresh ideas he has for the organization, if he can advance the organization. He basically has to do decades of terrorism, war, unspeakable crimes, racism that have been committed by his mother. He's basically like a piano DJ that has to play after Capta the Small at Groove. Well, in this case, Elizabeth the Small, because in Al Capta they're probably the same height. You know what I mean? But no, it's unfair on him. But like I said, guys, Battle 2022 May, that's when they officially, he'll be a substitute. For now, it's all probation. So between now and then, anything can happen. When you've seen the guy, guys, or the money, like he probably has like 4 months left. And then after that, anytime now, and he's in an area where there's stage 6 load shedding. So anytime now, he might be following in Archbishop Desmond Tutu's footsteps. Anytime, yeah, no, And speaking of hell, guys, what is around South Africa, guys? It's hot, guys. Is this what spring is supposed to look like, guys? This spring, we're sure we're in spring, guys, because there's no wind, guys. Guys, Department of Health, windy, the trees are supposed to be blossoming, guys. There's none of that, guys. Anything that's associated with spring is not doing the things right now. We remember when we guys ran about Sipone Secondary School, when we told you guys that after winter is summer. This is what we're talking about. You guys said, no, after winter, it's spring, then also there's a season called autumn, Octomas or something. Guys, please believe us. We know what we're talking about. After winter comes summer, guys. This is full-blown summer, guys. The only thing that's missing right now is DJ Tira to come and say, another summer, another killer. And then you guys will believe us, or it's summer, guys. Guys, it's so hot, that myself, I'm even using sunscreen these days. Like all this time, I know, guys, I'm late. Sorry, forgive me. But all this time I've been raw dogging, the sun, and the sun from Limpopo. You know how bad that is. But right now, thanks to my bougie girlfriend, I use sunscreen. SPF 50 boy, busy. What? A young boy like me from Kasia Modemol, he's now using sunscreen. You know what? I sound like CassperVSPriddyUgly, right? I sound like CassperVSPriddyUgly, a young boy from Kasi. I used to watch the windscreen for Zaga, and now so I sharper sunscreen kama Zaza. They used to stand on me at the PS5. No, so I sharper like the SPF 50 dog. All the glory to God. Mudimo harlebale, guys. I'm even at a point where I've stopped calling sunscreen and it made me realize, or like, when you get to this point where you stop calling fancy things, that's where you are free from poverty. You've won the fight against poverty, or you are very close to winning, or like your life has changed for the better. When you stop calling and you stop using this word, anything fancy, you see it as something that belongs to you. That's when you've won. You've won the mind oppression of the white man. The white man intended to oppress you by making you believe that certain things are for certain groups of people. But now when you've seen the light, you've battled and you've overcame that oppression that they meant. You guys, Chris Han. Yeah, no, I'm scaring the hose, aren't I? Yeah, no, I regularly. Mara guys, chat and sunscreen is serious, guys. Wow, fish is very hot. And in today's episode of How Bad Do You Want These Votes, Cyril is out here kissing our grandparents, guys. To be exact, our grandmothers, guys. Cyril went from president kiss to president kiss. Yeah, no, why didn't you vote? Just serious, guys. And you can see those grandmothers were more to Salas 1994 elections, more like in line when they were standing in line to go vote, to go cast their votes. That was the last time that grandmother received the lambs. They are starving. Straight. And don't judge them, guys. I'm judging them. Like, the only time our grandmothers, or these grandmothers per se, receive kisses is when politicians are in town and they come to their house, to campaign for votes, or kind of family gathering. You can't kiss me with the same lips that kissed Cyril Ramaphosa. Please, some paper. I'll replace the contents of your snake. Don't disrespect me like that. I would complain. Or strat mate, leave me alone. Good guys, our grandparents are suffering, guys. They are starving, guys. Society, guys. If you have a grandfather and I have a grandmother, let's tanganisa something, because it can't go on like this, guys. We can't keep being in darkness, in load shedding, because our grandparents were like a matwa. Poor guys, our grandmothers are suffering, guys. Our grandmothers were like a matwa. You can't go around kissing Cyril and keeping the ANC in power, whereas the ANC is denying us power. What's going on here, guys? Someone please tell me. And your grandmother shouldn't lie to us, Barry. Hey, we kiss Cyril because he's great looking, he's good looking. No, Cyril may be a lot of things, but good looking is not one of them. Cyril may have money, he may be a liar, he may be a kiss man, he may be a murderer, he may be a billionaire, he may be a criminal, but one thing he's not is good looking. Alright, don't lie. Don't lie, you kissed him because you are starving. You kissed him because every time you watch Skim Sam and see Lehasa kissing people, you feel something here. Or you went last. You Samba well. That's what you feel. That's why you kissed Cyril. There is no other logical reason of why you would lean. They were even leaning. Like, why? And they do this thing. They lean into kisses even when they kiss at school family gathering. Why? Why are you leaning into it? Guys, talk to your grandmothers, please, man. But this has shown me how bad the ANC are feeling the pressure, or how bad they want the votes for the next elections. Usually, a shirt. You remember they used to come around and give you guys shirts as Zuma, as Cyril, and that used to be enough to secure the votes. But now you have to kiss the lips, the apartheid baddies as they call them. You know, people, Cyril wants these votes for real. It went from kissing babies, because they used to kiss babies. Now you're kissing the parents of the babies. Or did the kids grow up? Are these the same people that Cyril was kissing? Like the kids grew up and now they are the parents. Guys, I want a teenage pregnancy, error. Or maybe the babies are just aging very fast, guys. Like Ape Savannah will age you. Like there's nothing that will age you like happily and dashing Red Bull with Hennessy every weekend. Little faith, guys. I don't want to lie to you. But guys, on a serious note, like our grandparents, mostly our grandmothers, are holding this country back. Like, didn't COVID take all of these people, guys? Nah. You know, I was hoping what COVID would do us a favor, but if your grandmother is still alive, no, the COVID took all the people it should have taken, but except Bukukwao, and also they're going to vote for the NC. Who like childhood bestie, Queen Elizabeth is dead, but when they're still here, guys. And it's usually, or most of the time, it's usually the grandmothers. Like the grandfathers, they are, you know, they don't bother us. Well, most of them are dead, so you can't bother us from the grave. You know, all those things, but that we can manage. What we can manage is your grandmothers. And if your grandfather is still alive, the only thing he does is he chills at home, doesn't bother anyone, or he chills at the tavern, he's an alcoholic, chills at the tavern, doesn't bother anyone, just gives, you know, unwarranted advice to youngsters. You know, that's literally the only thing grandfathers say, or the first thing that they say to you. And once they say wabona nane, just know that you are about to have your time wasted. Anytime Thomas sentence wabona nane, there's nothing serious that's going to come out of that person's mouth. Yes, I see you, Silias. I see you. You look like someone who needed therapy to get through over what apartheid put you through, but you didn't get it. Now you are here using alcohol to cope with that. You are an alcoholic, you're drinking yourself to death. Here we are. But anyways, what are you saying? Dinsang Enkel, Madala, what's up? And when they're giving you this advice, they always like say something in Venek and then repeat it in English or Afrikaans. You see me? During my time, you couldn't tell me anything about Hirimense. Florence, no, it was the top dog. Guys, why? Why do all our parents speak Afrikaans, guys? The apartheid regime was bad. Like, even after how many decades? 3 decades of being free, apartheid, like the language still encoded in your mind, and you use it. Not even when you're not around Afrikaans people, you just use it in like, guys, apartheid did a number on our grandparents. Serious, guys. And moving on in other news, the boxing match of CassperVSPriddyUgly and Pretty Ugly. You know, guys, the only thing I'm going to say about this fight is that South African men are not beating the 1 round allegations. They're not. Guys, the fight was shorter than both of those niggas, and they're very short. The fight ended before some people could even find the channel the fight was being broadcasted on. And for some reason during all of this, I found out that Pretty Ugly's name is Ricardo Moloi. Ricardo Moloi. My advice to you, my brother, after the fight, the hands that you just caught, after the beating you just received, my only advice to you is to do as your name suggests. Because and in other news, like I said, there's stage 6 load shedding in the building. There's water shedding. Guys, what's not being shared in this country? Boys are sharing needles. We even share the country with Swaziland and Lesotho. Guys, share it. Bluetooth sendel. Guys, no, this is not the one, guys. There's even water shedding. There's water outages, lack of water in Gauteng, guys. Like Gauteng, like the economic hub of South Africa. I name it, some areas, guys. This is not the Gauteng our parents told us to come here and make money. But it was in the name, guys. The ANC tried to warn us, like Gauteng, the gold is no longer there. Like they tried to warn us, like when they changed the name from Transvaal to Gauteng, they tried to tell us, my people, our people, please stay there where you are, because the gold that you think you are coming here for is no longer here. The ANC even tried to warn us of the type of government there will be once we elect them, using the names of their members. Like, they tried to warn us, man. They tried to warn us of the type of government there will be once they're in power. Are we not buzzering questions now? When is load shedding ending? When is the pothole in my area getting fixed? When am I getting a job? When is King Monada uploading Skorokor on streaming platforms? I will not asking questions, guys. Who are on Motswaledi? I know it. I clinic is NCD guys. I don't know. Do we stop getting sick after 5 p.m.? Like, the business hours. What's happening here? This one they like it a lot. The NC tried to warn us of the type of government they'll be once they're in power, guys. Like, who's blading Zima? Agunzima knows. Agunzima now. Now I'm saying, let's use the same logic to choose the next president or the next political party we are voting for. Like, for example, Julius Malema. If we vote for this guy, clearly we're all going to be farmers. We're going to get the land. It's going to be nice, freaky. We're going to make, it's nice. We're all agriculture. We're going to, how, but Fort Ranger, we're going to wear those uniforms, and it's going to be nice, But at the same time, this nigga's middle name, Cyril, cry. So if you vote for him and we end up crying, it's Zizokal, and it's in the name. Another member of the ANC is called Ringo Madlingos. Uja danger. He eats the danger. Madlingos. This sounds like the type of president we need. The man that will eat up all the danger. But at the same time, Madlingos could mean he is nyoka. Uja danger like the transformer box. Analysis, guys. Let's look at the DA. Helen Zile. No, let's be serious. No, I don't have time for jokes. Let's look at Bantu Holomi. Bantu education now. PTSD. No, cut. Let's look at Musimaiman. I think Musimaiman is the perfect candidate, guys. Like Musimaiman, the ruler of money, or the person who's going to bring back the money. I think this is the type of president we need. But at the same time, the only thing that worries me about Musi is that his second name is Aloysius. And, we might vote him as president. He goes there, governs the country. And by the time we understand or we are able to decipher what his name means, we find out Aloysius. We don't know, guys. Best bet, my name is Kay Mahapa. The answer. And last but certainly not least, Lepantiti is free. Jacob Lepantiti Zuma is finally a free man. For those of you that don't remember, this Lepantiti was arrested last year around July. Was it last year? I think it was last year. Last year, he was arrested for being in contempt of court and sentenced to 15 months in prison. I wish if this was 15 years, but it was months. And then it sparked an outrage. If you guys remember, there was riots all over South Africa, or as I would like to call them, the Wednesday Zuma Black Friday specials. It was 100% on everything if you were brave enough, but the trick was you had to arrange delivery from the store to your place. So it was kind of hard to fit a double door fridge in a Toyota test, but Uvusmuzi and Spelele, they made it happen. Kudos to them. So Zuma went to prison, and in prison he got paroled, medical parole, and a judge said, "Nah, you're not sick, go back to prison." And then Zuma he appealed the decision to send him back to prison. And then during the process of appeal, the sentence lapsed. The 15 months ended, and hence he's a free man. So basically what happened, guys, let me simplify it for you. You know how a teacher tells you get out of my class, and then you stand by the door and say ha mem. It's basically that the teacher is the judge that revoked Zuma's medical parole. The teacher said, "Wena, please get out of my class." And then Zuma stood by the door and said, ma'am, but it wasn't me. Ma'am, they made me laugh. Ma'am, you're not fair. Ma'am, my parents pay school fees. And during all of that, ma'am, the bell rang, and then it was the end of the period. And now Zuma didn't have to leave he was going to leave the class, but he didn't have to leave the class and miss out on lessons because it was the end of the period and everyone was leaving. So that's basically what happened. He played the long game, he played the waiting game, and kudos to him, man. He won. Marana, my cry is this, guys. Now that this man is a free man, can you please arrest him one more time? I'm a fellow, guys. Like, I know he's old, but please arrest Zuma one more time. One last time, guys. Like, we need to bring back the Uboshelo New Zuma, Wednesday Zuma Black Friday specials, guys. I need them one last time. The last time they happened, I was blind, I was naive, I was shy, I was blind, but now I see. I was lost, but now I'm found. I was scared, but now I'm broke and willing to do anything to get a plasma TV. So please, guys, arrest Zuma one last time. And just like that, I feel we've come to the end of another episode of the weekly rundown with the Modern Day Easy Matjila. Thank you guys for watching until the end. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Don't forget to comment, like the video, and share the video with your friends, family, who else? Tango.